No, but is this not just the biggest H&M box you've ever seen in your life? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we have another H&M collab review. You guys ate this up last time when I did the H&M Mugler. I absolutely loved filming it, pretending I'm a little fashion critique. Same with the Kylie Jenner collection. It seems to be my thing at the moment. I just wanted to preface this by saying, if you were looking for a glowing report, that is me saying I'm in love with this collection. It's the best thing I've ever seen. You are not gonna get that in this video. That's just me being 100% honest. It's very rare that I like everything in a collection or a video or a haul or something like that. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna be brutally honest if anything, but honesty is the best policy with regards to these clothing hauls, especially given that the Rabanne collection was actually a little bit more pricey or a little bit more expensive than the H&M Mugler collection from my memory. I actually ended up spending 1,700 Swiss francs for all of these pieces, which really hurt my soul. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a fair few pieces that will be going back from this, and you'll probably see why. But without further ado, let's crack on into this haul. I'm very excited to give you guys my opinion on this. So, these bad boys here. Most items actually came in this little Rabanne H&M box too. And if we're being real, this box is actually better quality than some of the items in this collection. And that's not me being a Debbie Downer, like some of the things in here were actually grossly disappointing. As I say, I've spent far too much money, not to give my honest opinion. And if H&M want to put me on their PR list for next designer collection, that would be muchly appreciated. That being said, it's probably very unlikely after my brutal opinions. First up, we have this very noisy combo. This was arguably my favorite thing on the website from this collection. I loved the color purple. This was giving very much Rabanne, very much what I expected from the collection. And when I reviewed this on TikTok, I'd freshly pulled it out the box, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed, just because, I mean, this is the top. These circles are plastic. And for whatever reason, I was expecting them to be metallic. I mean, for the price, you probably would expect metal. Plastic chainmail for 300 Swiss francs or whatever I spent on this seems a bit wild. But down to the design, down to the fit, it's very, very nice. Now that I've tried it on, I'll be honest, it is nice. This is what the top looks like. As you can see, it's chainmail, it's linked together like that. So it's very open, very peephole, that sort of thing. It does have these little popping clasps that open like that so that you can get it on and off, which I do think are a very good detail. One detail that I do quite like, let me show you, is the fact that there's this little R on the little clasps too. When I tried this on, I did fall in love with it ever so slightly. I can't lie, because with the way that it moves with the light, it just reflects so beautifully. Same with the skirt, it was very nice on. I didn't want to like it on, I really wanted to hate it. But as you can see, it's a little crop top, it's a strappy moment, nothing too crazy shape-wise. It fit really nicely. The cut allowed for a little bit of cleavage, nothing too much. Very cute, very, you know, party season, New Year's Eve vibes. Then, of course, you get the skirt too. Now, I can't actually find the clasps to be able to do this up, but the shape of the skirt and the fit of the skirt were very, very good too. Just slightly disappointed that this wasn't like metallic circles, you know? I think that would have made this look a whole lot more expensive. I think it would have sounded a lot better as well. Obviously, I can appreciate that linking all of these together is not going to be an easy task. It's probably done by hand. I don't know, it doesn't say whether it's handmade or not. It does say that it's made with 100% recycled materials, which is very nice. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it quite short and sweet with this because I do have a lot of items to get through. Pleasantly surprised with how it looks like on, but definitely disappointed with the materials in the sense that I really wanted it to be metal. Do I think it warrants the price tag? No. Do I think it's a cool piece from the collection? Yes. Are Shein gonna make a dupe of it? Quite possibly. Moving on to the most affordable item of clothing in the collection. Not talking about accessories, I'm talking about like actually clothes that you know, wear. I picked up a couple of their baby tees. Now, these I do really like. Do I think they warrant the price tag? Again, no. I mean, you're paying for the logo. But are they something that I would wear with a pair of jeans or like on a casual day or something like that? Absolutely. The quality of these is good. I mean, it's nothing to shout home about. At the end of the day, it is just a white white t-shirt with a rubber logo. As you can see, this is what the logo looks like. Very happy that this isn't printed. I think I would have had a cardiac arrest if this was printed onto the top. I like the red sort of trim on it along the sleeves as well. And of course I had to pick up the same in green. This is what the green one looks like. This one I picked up in an extra small, and arguably the fit was a lot better. It was a little bit more verging towards skin tight as opposed to the red one, oops, which I picked up in a small. Very subjective. Some people want them to be sort of like skin tight like I did, and some people will want them to be a little bit more loose. The cut and the length of it was just perfect. They're not see-through, which is good for the price point, and they're pretty soft too. Pretty good, nothing crazy. I mean, they are just white baby tees, nothing revolutionary. The red one, however, I did pair with a tracksuit from the collection. I didn't manage to get my hands on the top of the tracksuit, but rather just the trousers or the pants. And this is what the pair of trousers look like. So again, you've got the same rubber stitched on logo, which is good. The side of these definitely reminds me of some of the Gucci tracksuits that, you know, certain influencers used to wear and stuff like that. Fabric wise, it's very thick, but it definitely reminds me of Adidas or Nike quality in a more sort of structured tracksuit. I just don't think I'd be able to style this to be able to suit me. When I did eventually put it on, it did look verging on chavvy. It's got the drawstring at the front. It's adjustable, obviously, so you can pull the waist in, and the waist does have a certain amount of elastication. Elastication? It's elasticated. They're ever so slightly long on me. Not surprising because I am 5'3". A pair of chunky trainers will sort you out, and these won't be dragging on the floor. I think just one of the main things that I don't love is how the material has a little bit of a shine to it. So I will be returning these or selling these just because they're not really my vibe. Sometimes you just have to purchase something for the content. Do you know what I mean? I then picked up a little chainmail number from the men's collection because I wanted to see if there was any sort of differences in quality, if it was going to be better quality or more sort of heavy duty in the men's section, because honestly you do find that sometimes. I'm really struggling to be able to show this to you. So heavy. So this is the situation. As you can see, this is really metallic. So this is what I wanted to go for. As I said, it's a chainmail top. I don't know how long I can sort of lift this up because it's genuinely really, really heavy. It's got these little diamonds, faux diamante glass situations on, which normally I don't really like because I think it makes items look a little bit cheap. But I think in this situation where I would wear this to a festival or something, you're definitely not going to want anything expensive on it. I feel like Rabanne have really tapped into the whole, I guess, camp aspect of their styling with this. It's very similar to what Harry Styles wore on a red carpet at the Met Gala a few years ago. I believe when the theme was camp, it was essentially a holy vest like this. But this, I think, would be best styled over a black dress if you were headed on a night out, or you could do something really funky with it if you were going to wear it to a festival. In the try on clip, I'm not going to lie, I chucked this on with a black skirt and a black bikini because I honestly could not find anything in my wardrobe that would actually style this in the right way. But quality wise, I was very impressed with that. That was 400 Swiss francs though. So really, really up to you if you actually want to fork out that much for more of like a festival, or whether you'd rather get an AliExpress chainmail eBay situation. Do you know what I mean? You could definitely get a similar vibe for a lot cheaper. Moving on to another sparkly sequiny dress, which was actually very popular amongst the influencers that promoted this collection. It's been very popular on TikTok so far as well. This is a long dress. It's definitely a maxi heel grazer situation, but the skirt of it does poof out quite a lot. And again, it's got the same circles on the front and around the bottom of the skirt that we saw with the first co-ord. This is well made. It's got a skirt on the inside. It's very well stitched. The sequins are lovely. Not necessarily my style, not necessarily something I would wear. For the life of me, I couldn't think of somewhere where I would wear this. It's verging on like movie premiere, but like Wish version, New Year's or something like that. You can't deny that the sequins are really well sewn on. I like the idea around the dress, but again, the fact that these are plastic just ruins it for me. You'll see as well, I did not manage to do this up at the back. I was on my own and the clasps were not particularly easy. This is what we were dealing with. So these little hooks and these balls. But what I loved about the design of this, specifically at the back, was that it had a nice open sort of cutout in the lower back, which I think looks really elegant and really quite sexy too. From the very top, it looks like you could wear this to a year 6 disco. There's nothing amazing about the cut. Again, not a winner for me, not something I would necessarily recommend. It looks good. I think it can suit some people. I would never really have an occasion to wear it. I can see the artistic perspective of this, but it does really just look like Rabanne, but the Wish version. Now, arguably the most surprising piece out of the collection, and maybe one of the pieces that I liked the most, is this dress here. Now, don't judge it until you see it on, because I looked at this on the website and I was like, that's just completely not my style. Verging on vulgar. I just didn't give it the time. I ordered it for the plot, I ordered it for the content, and even looking at it now off, I'm like, what on earth? It's obviously quite a in-your-face pattern, and I'm not really an in-your-face pattern kind of person. I'm literally wearing a grey jumper, for God's sake. But when I tried this on, the cut, the shape, the fit, stunning. I think this was one of the more affordable pieces from the collection as well. I say affordable, less expensive. The cut doesn't look wowy until you put it on, and it makes your boobs look incredible. There is a matching pair of trousers on the website as well, but I couldn't get my hands on them, and I think, frankly, for me, that would have been too much. As you can see, it's cut up the side on both ends. It's got that real sort of thigh-high slit and cut into it. Pretty much my entire arse cheek was out. I would need to tape this, I think, if I was going out in the wind. But when I put this on, it fit like a glove, and I find it really hard to resist things that fit really well and that make my body look good and that make me feel good, most importantly. And this really was one of them. I mean, it's black, orange, silver, and gold. Not necessarily colors I would normally put together, but in this scenario, did enjoy. One thing I was mega worried about is the inside. Look how scratchy that looks, but you couldn't feel it when you had this on. But as I say, a really surprising revelation for me, because from the outset, I wasn't expecting to like this. It's turned out to be one of my favorite items for the collection, especially when you're looking at quality. With these H&M designer collaborations, I think it's all good and well if you take a design and essentially make a rip-off cheap version, but why are we then paying like ridiculous amounts of money for it? Whereas this, I feel like this is actually the same or very similar quality to what you would get at Rabanne. And I said the same thing about the H&M Mugler collection. There were a couple of pieces that really stood out to me that were like so close to being the same quality as Mugler. They were that good. And there were some pieces that I was just almost appalled by the quality. Same situation with this collection. This is great. Some of the other things just look cheap to me. Mic drop. That is everything that I've got to show you. So in conclusion, what do I think about this collaboration? I think from the get-go, the glitzy, you know, disco vibes to this collection were never my thing. I think it's a collection that normally I wouldn't purchase from because it doesn't really align with my aesthetic, like what I like to wear and things like that, as much as the H&M Mugler did. Maybe I'm being a little bit more critical because of that, because it's not really necessarily my style. I've been completely and utterly surprised by these pieces, because things I was expecting to love, I ended up really disliking, vice versa. A really strange but worthwhile video, to be honest. In all honesty, would I recommend pieces in this collection? If you love going all out, being like a full-on disco ball diva, I think you will like these. Do I think they're good value for money? No, not as much as I think the H&M Mugler, especially the blazer, was, because that was literally pretty much a one-of-one copy of the Mugler. I think this is definitely going to show a little bit more that it is an H&M collab as opposed to genuine Rabanne. There's some really nice pieces in here. Theoretically, is the execution good? Questionable. I think that summarizes my thoughts. I personally wouldn't repurchase this. I think it's very representative and symbolic of Rabanne's design, which is the whole point, but it's not my style, and it's not necessarily a designer I would normally shop from. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I certainly have enjoyed putting myself in this little critiquey mindset, as I normally do with these videos. If you have enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe. Outside of these collaborations, I tend to focus a lot on Zara, Bershka, things like that, good quality basics. But for the time being, thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!